Hey everyone, George here. So if you're in construction, chances are you're on the road a lot. Job sites in different cities, out-of-town projects, supervisors, foremen, and crews traveling week after week. And with all that traveling comes one of the biggest tax headaches is tracking all those travel, meals, expenses, lodging, and incidental expenses. Receipts get lost, logs are incomplete, and at tax time everyone's scrambling. But today I want to show you a legit IRS-approved shortcut that could dramatically reduce that paperwork. And it's especially useful for construction companies. So without further ado, let's get started. So today we're going to talk about a per diem and what exactly is a per diem. Instead of tracking every bill, receipt, and hotel bill when employees travel, the IRS allows employers to reimburse employees at fixed daily rates. These rates cover lodging, meals, and incidental expenses. And the nice thing about this is when used correctly, the per diem is actually tax-free to the employee. It's deductible to the business, and you dramatically reduce all the paperwork and upkeep of all the support for the travel. This could be a game changer for construction companies with travel and crews. So every year the GSA sets the per diem rate and the IRS then adopts those rates for tax purposes. So the IRS recently came up with a notice, IRS 2025-54, that confirmed that the fiscal year 2026 per diem rates will be the same as 2025. And what are those rates? So for high cost areas, that's $319 per day. And for low cost areas, that's $225 per day. Again, those numbers would include lodging, meals, and incidental expenses. But what did change for 2026 was that the IRS added and removed some high cost areas from the list. So what were some of those newly added high cost areas? Burlington, Vermont, Boise, Idaho, Los Angeles, California, and Mammoth Lake, California. These were all added to the high cost list. Now there were quite a few that were removed, 11 to be exact, from the high cost area list. And those, I don't need to spell them out one by one. They're down in the show notes if you want to go over them. If you're reimbursing crews in high cost areas before, I would just caution you to go over the list and make sure that you reimburse them at the correct rates for 2026. So let's talk about some benefits of using the per diem as opposed to tracking all receipts individually. What would be the benefits, or when would your construction business be best positioned to use the per diem? If you're a construction contractor, the per diem works especially well when crews travel out of town for multi-day jobs, supervisors bounce between job sites, you're working on remote or rural projects, or employees don't want to save receipts. Instead of tracking every breakfast, lunch, and dinner, arguing over what's reasonable, or dealing with missing documentation, you simply confirm the job location, determine if it's high cost or low cost, and pay the approved per diem rate. Another thing to note is that the per diems are maximums, so if you want, you can even pay less than the IRS approved per diem rate. You're not stuck to these numbers. One other caveat to note is that self-employed contractors themselves cannot use the per diem rates. That means sole proprietors, single member LLCs, or partners in a multi-member LLC or partnership, they can't take the per diem themselves. It's specifically like an employer tool. It's for your employees. So if you're paying employees, that's great. But as an employer yourself, you can't take it for yourself, unfortunately. So a few quick warnings or pitfalls, mistakes that I see. Number one, paying per diem without overnight travel. Per diem generally requires travel away from home and to stay somewhere overnight. Number two, using the wrong location. The rate is based on where the employee sleeps, like that city, not where your office is. Number three, a common mistake is mixing receipts and per diem incorrectly. So you either get one or the other. You're either paying actual expenses or you're paying the per diem. And number four, no written reimbursement policy. This is huge. You need a documented, accountable plan that addresses the per diem. So final thoughts on this. The per diem is a tax strategy that's completely legal, IRS approved, and massively underused. And it could reduce a lot of paperwork and even save you a lot of money if you have a lot of travel. So I hope you found this helpful. Reach out with any questions, click like, subscribe, turn on notifications for updates, and hope to see you in the next one.